Barking mad? Liam Fox's Brexit trade plans slated by SNP for being empire. Liam Fox and his team are attempting to persuade every country with which Britain trades as a member of the EU to sign up to similar arrangements with the UK. And the International Trade Secretary claimed this week leaving the EU would see the emergence of a global Britain with a bright future beyond Europe's borders. But Ian Blackford, who leads the SNP Westminster group, said the whole strategy was a complete fantasy based on the golden days of the British Empire. He said, "That's absolutely barking mad. I mean, he is referring back to an empire strategy that is no longer pertinent for the modern world." Mr. Blackford also claimed Britain could end up in an extended transitional deal with the EU if it became clear the country was heading towards a cliff-edge Brexit. The Remainer told the Politico, "In the absence of a deal to offer protection to UK citizens, then something has to happen, because the possibility of crashing out of the EU and not having that, quite frankly, I think is just too frightening." The Scottish politician also backed signs that a large offer will be made to Brussels on the Brexit divorce bill, claiming Theresa May needed to drive the process onto trade. Despite the sniping, the government insists it is making good progress on international trade post-Brexit. At a business event in Sydney this week, Dr. Fox said Britain's departure from the EU would signal an opportunity to build and strengthen relationships across the world. And he claimed no criticism of the government's approach to Brexit would change his view that the referendum had the right result. He boasted, "There were many who condemned our democratic decision as the ultimate act of insularity. Some of them still do, unable to come to terms with the expressed will of the British people. They confidently predicted the UK would be left a diminished figure on the world stage, alone, friendless and isolated with a broken economy and shattered prospects. How wrong they have been. They not only misunderstood the fundamental motivations behind the Leave vote but also the intrinsic strengths of the British economy. This is not Brexit, but the emergence of a global Britain." Naming Australia as foremost among our Commonwealth friends, Dr. Fox said Brexit would allow Britain to strengthen these partnerships further. Calling the UK the technology capital of Europe, he said, "We must expand these industries which will be the foundation for future growth. The UK's economic future lies beyond the borders of Europe." Brexit was not a vote for insularity, but for mobility. "Since my department was created, we've conducted almost 130 overseas visits across the world. What struck me most is the sheer anticipation for Britain's emergence as an unambiguously free-trading nation. For the first time in almost 4 decades, the UK will have a fully independent trade policy. I hope to see our two nations form a strong and united defense of free trade."